Hello and welcome to another episode of Erongo Talk. I'm your host, Irene Marie van der Walt, and we are joining you from a cold and misty Swakopmund today, just as we know it in the winter time. So in today's episode, we will be chatting with Oliver Pieters, one of the founders of the Namib Sustainable Waves Project. So the Namib Sustainable Waves Project teaches youth from disadvantaged neighborhoods to surf so that they can invest their time elsewhere. But it's more than just surfing, it's about mentorship and teaching them to live sustainably as well. So stay tuned for that, and also stay tuned for our pop-up question that's going to pop up somewhere on your screen that you can answer to win a very nice prize courtesy of Wagwerk Beer Garden in Swakopmund. So stay tuned, we'll be right back. And now it is time for your news. In our first story for today, Johannes Stefansson, the Icelandic whistleblower who revealed the fish rot files, the corruption scandal with roots in Iceland and Namibia, is one of 5 Gothenburg Sustainability Award finalists this year. The award aims to recognize and support outstanding contributions from around the world for the benefit of humans, the planet, and our common future. It has been presented in Gothenburg since the year 2000, and this year's winners will be announced on the 21st of April. The theme for this year's Gothenburg Sustainability Award is anti-corruption. According to the jury, Stefansson was nominated for his courage to speak up and leave his post as leader of the fishing company Samheri's operations in Namibia in protest against the corrupt methods his company engaged in to ensure access to fishing quotas. The act shows the importance of individuals in the business world who have the courage to take a stand against the abuse of power and corruption, the jury said. In our second and final story for today, the Fisheries Minister, Albert Kawana, is expected to announce who his ministry has chosen for the new fishing rights at the end of this month. This brings to a close a 2-year vetting process undertaken by the ministry with the assistance of the University of Namibia. All of those questions, reserve them for when I make public announcements, Kawana said. There will be an announcement for all applicants by the end of March, he said. The Namibia Fishing Association said it had been waiting with bated breath to find out who the new group of rights holders will be. We want to know who the applicants are, but we are still waiting for that list, Association Chairperson Matia Mukwa said upon inquiry. Kawana had also been asked what role UNAM had played to assist the ministry with applications, but would not answer. The university had been approached to assist with the process and allocated 38 evaluators for vetting. The minister previously said that 52.6% of the quotas have been allocated to new applicants. The minister, who was thrust into the portfolio after the resignation and arrest of former Fisheries Minister Bernard Esso over the so-called fish rot bribery scandal, had previously defended his record of transparency over the years. And with that, we conclude today's news. Joining me today is Oliver Pieters. He is going to tell us about the Namib Sustainable Waves Project, which is an NGO established to teach youth from disadvantaged backgrounds to surf. Hi, Ollie. How are you?
Hi. Good morning. I'm great today. Had a lovely morning surf.
So, Ollie, can you tell us about Namib Sustainable Waves? Why did you decide to start it?
So Namib Sustainable Waves actually. Even as I started with Salty Jackal Backpackers and Surf Camp 4 or 5 years ago, from the start I always had the idea, because I read about it in South African surf magazines, about all these projects that basically help kids from the townships and street children to teach them surfing and to try to make a positive change in their life, because as a surfer myself, I can attest to the fact that surfing really teaches you a lot, apart from the surfing itself. Teaches you a lot about life and to never give up and to always try to improve. And other than that, I think it's just a very healthy lifestyle, and in a way, one also gets addicted to surfing, but it's a healthy addiction. So I think it's better for anyone, for kids to rather get really into surfing and be crazy about that instead of falling into bad habits of drugs or alcohol.
So, Ollie, how many children has this project helped so far?
Okay, so we started sort of unofficially a few years ago. I took 3, 4, 5 kids out usually for a total of maybe 10 times. Then the whole thing sort of became dormant for 2 years. I got just a bit too busy. And then last year during the coronavirus outbreak, I've always been still in touch with some of these kids, so we met some of these kids, and they told us about the situation with coronavirus, that he'd lost his job and his parents had lost the job, and the mom had to move to another town. So that was, I think, in March, April 2020. So we basically, myself and Iris, my partner, we started just almost on a weekly basis, every 2 weeks, spending a day on the weekend with 2, 3, 4 kids, usually going for a surf, but then also teaching them a bit about gardening in the vegetable garden and about cooking, and just talking to them about what they want to do in life. And it was actually then that some guests of Salty Jackal and some friends of ours started noticing and saying to us, why don't you make this into something bigger? And we said yes, of course. So that was the point where we started to formally incorporate this as a project, as an NGO type project. And at the moment, so I spent a few months in Europe, came back in late January, and since then we've sort of kickstarted this year with the more formalized way of doing it, and we usually take 5 to 8 kids out at the moment. But each time we go, we realize that they've told their friends, and there's some new ones that want to join. So I think there's really a lot of potential for growth. And it should be clear that it's also not just about surfing. So the surfing is sort of the fun part that everything centers around. But then apart from that, it's really also about education and mentorship, and opening the kids' eyes and mind to options that they have in life, and to try and help them get somewhere with their personal interests.
Definitely. So, Ollie, can you shortly summarize the benefits of surfing for the youth?
Okay, so first of all, surfing takes your mind off things, takes your mind off the problems and the desperate situation that some of these kids might be in. So once they're surfing, they're just having fun and laughing and falling in the water, but having a great time. And it's just a really healthy lifestyle, both for the body, but also for the mind. It teaches you a lot. It teaches you that even though you might fail 20 times when trying to catch a wave, there's going to be the one time where you make it and learn something new. And I think and this path of learning and surfing never ends. You start as a beginner surfing tiny waves, and it can take months and years, but you just go for bigger, crazier, longer waves as you go. You can start doing tricks. You can start competing in surfing. So it's really a very, very difficult thing to learn, but that also makes it fun because you never really reach this plateau. There's always more, and it also teaches you a lot to just persist, to never give up, and it also teaches you about your own limits, what you can and can't do. And I think that's the bulk of it.
Yeah. So, Ollie, lastly, for a child from a disadvantaged background watching today, wanting to get involved with this project, wanting to take up surfing, how do they get involved?
Okay, so the easiest is just to contact Salty Jackal, Salty Jackal Surf School. So They can find our number online. We have a phone number 081 465 1465, easy to remember. And most of our kids actually, it comes from word of mouth. We have the kids that started with us, and they keep telling others about it. Yeah.
Okay. Wonderful. Thank you so much for your time,
Thank you
Ollie.
very much.
That was Oliver Pieters.
Greetings, my name is Elizabeth Shupala. I'm currently a grade 12 learner at the mighty Tenasach in the Erongo region. I've managed to rank number 10 in the country and the best in the Erongo region for the grade 11 and AACO examinations in 2020. When you look at me, you probably think I spend most of my time studying or had perfect execution plans. But to be honest, I watched TikToks and Grey's Anatomy and Netflix in exams when I knew that I really shouldn't have. But I think it is important, or it's worth noting, that sometimes it's needed to have a laugh, just a little break. With all the exam stress and anxiety, it's important that we just have a little distraction that helps us get our mind off the stressful examinations. But nevertheless, it is important that you always get back on that horse, that you put in all the effort, the time, and the hard work, and that you walk into that exam room with utmost confidence in your ability to perform.
And now it is time for your weather and tides predictions for Swakopmund and all the other major towns in the Erongo region. That unfortunately brings us to the end of another episode of Erongo Talk. It was wonderful having you with us. So if you want to check out our website for the stories we discussed earlier and so much more, you can do that at www.erongo.com.na. That's www.erongo.com.na. And if you want to get in touch and let us know what's happening in your town and in your community, you can do so on our WhatsApp and Telegram number. That's at 0811 7040. It's 0811 7040. And if you want to get in touch for advertisement opportunities, this is also going to be the number to call. So if around tomorrow morning you find yourself missing us a little bit too much, you can check out the multitude of other shows hosted by Namib Media Holdings. This includes Active Kids for the little ones to keep them busy. This includes Evening Review by the Namibian Sun, Klets Kompas by Republican, Tourismus shows. If you want to see our beautiful country, We Talk by the Windhoek Express, which discusses the community news of the Windhoek community. So until tomorrow, stay safe, stay healthy, stay sanitized. We'll see you again.